Alright, guys, for the Chapter 9 discussion on the TED Talk of Our Failing Schools, Enough is Enough by Mr. Canada. The first step, we're going to hit the key points. Some of his key points he was talking about was how our education is kind of at a standstill. He noted over since he left school, like started school 56 years ago, his same school is at the same statistic level of education, how it has not gained any, how in inner city poor people are struggling, and how throughout the school year they'll catch up in like May and such. When they're finished for the summer, they're at a good level, but then they start back school in September and August, and over the summer they have lost everything. So he's kind of wondering why we don't continue school throughout the summer, and how he notes how people say it's impossible and for this, and he pretty much just calls it out and says it's bullcrap, and that we really could go with school through the summer. He talks about how the science is not being used correctly, how we are really not doing anything to help our kids and this upcoming generation uh, be more educated, and how technology is not helping it out. The aspect that I chose from our chapter was found on page 142 is credibility. And credibility means it may serve as a claim in an argumentation. Its most important role is as a means to support a claim, just as evidence. I thought Mr. Canada used this in a couple different ways. He used data as his credibility to support his claim that we would need to really break down and use the science and technology to help education. He talks about how he could predict data if he went to inner city schools and he looked at the numbers of kids who were failing or their grades they made. If they didn't change anything, and he asked them, be like, so what do y'all do next year? Well, the same thing. How he could predict that they're going to make the same scores because you're not improving anything. He talks about how you make students take all these test scores and stuff, and you get the information back after the school year, and that's not helping you at all. So overall, he really we need to improve our technology, spend money, and put this as one of our main focus instead of going to war and such, to bring up our new generations more educated, and because they're going to be the future of this country. For the last part, the conclusion, I think Mr. Canada did a good job. He had key factors. He has been doing this his whole life. He believes in it, and he did a really good job overall speaking, covering a lot of ground. Got the crowd very into it, and it was very enjoyable as a TED Talk too.